Welcome, everyone. Tico Casamayor here at the Strive305 podcast with my super co-host, Irvans Agustin here, ready to go. We have another wonderful guest today. Before we get to our guests, let's talk about our sponsors, our hosts, our wonderful people. Our sponsor for this show today is someone that we had on the show, I had on another show not too long ago, the Game Day Men's Health. So Game Day in Miami Lakes. Yeah, Game Day Men's Health, Miami Lakes, spectacular. If you're a man, if you're a woman with a husband,
diet.
Send your man, fitness, diet. If you're tired, if you're stressed, if you're lazy, just go. The blood work is free. They check you. They tell you what your levels are. And if you want to get fixed up, they fix you up. If you don't, at least you know your levels. You know what I tell all my friends? I tell you, I'm going to tell everybody, go get the blood work. It's free, and you get your PSA test. Your PSA test will tell you how your colon, is it colon? No, your prostate is doing.
Work.
To avoid prostate. People get prostate cancer all the time. They don't even realize it. That test is worth it just for that. And then you get all the other levels.
And it's a lot simpler nowadays.
Yes. The blood work is, and then they do it instantly. You're not waiting 2 weeks. You go, you get your blood work, and within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they're telling you all the levels, all the numbers. I recommend it highly. That's why I let them be our sponsor today and pay us those big bucks that those sponsors give us. Okay. Also, we need to thank Mayor Levine Cava, our Daniela Mayor Levine Cava. We got to thank Manny Sid, the man that put us here. We got to thank Wells Fargo for the money that they gave to help the website Strive305hub.com. Yes, and the
Beacon Council folks?
The Beacon Council folks, those we love. And then the guys we are forced to love, Grant Michael Miller. Grant Miller here and Michael Miller. We have to thank them from Community News. This is their space. You know, they make us worship them in order to have us here, but it's worth it.
You practically live here now.
I know, it's my second home. I have a bed in the back. Okay, and also Sirius XM. Did everybody know?
Right.
We get rebroadcast on Sirius XM Radio, Slam 145. With Larry the Amigo, he's my mentor. That's why I hope to be one day as good as that guy.
No, he's a professional.
Yeah, I know. I'll never get there.
That's what we're trying to get to.
We try.
Him and the kids on the show.
Let's get to our beautiful guest, Karla Canavan.
Canavan, yes.
Karla Canavan, founder of Artevivo Global, correct?
Artevivo Global.
I got it. Artevivo Global. Beautiful stuff. We're going to hear beautiful things all about art. And, of course, I did it on purpose because Art Basel's coming, and you're going to be open during Art Basel. Everybody remembers the famous banana during Art Basel, that artwork a couple years ago.
You're the one who bought it?
I'm the one that bought it. This is the banana from back then. I had to spray it.
That was like a couple years ago. It looks pretty good.
It's a walk-up banana, and I'm going to eat it on set while we do the show today in honor of Artevivo Global. All right? So, Irvans, go ahead, do your thing. Interview this young lady so she can tell us all about Artevivo. Remember who we're talking to here. We're talking to small business owners that we want to. She's a resource. She's a small business owner herself. So we're going to be able to do it's going to be a double trouble thing here where we get a resource and an actual small business and promote the Strive305. So hit it, Irvans.
Actually tell us a little bit about Artevivo. How long have you guys been in business?
So we founded, this is a women-owned business. We founded it in December 2021, as we thought this is a very good concept for
right
after
the beginning of the pandemic. Wow.
The pandemic was actually the time where we thought we need to change a little bit of how art is treated.
Yeah.
And we started with a little company of Artevivo looking for a local but global company that represents artists that are alive.
Yeah.
For us, knowing and meeting the artist is as important as seeing the art in the wall, because the artists really tell you their story.
Right.
And it's
so you
really
want to
about
connect with them as people and build those relationships.
Yes, absolutely.
And what are artists? What are artists? Each one of them is a small business.
All business owners.
All small business. People think sometimes a business requires a big number. But they are. Each one is an individual small business, which is another thing you're doing. That's why I say you're a resource. Yeah. You're helping all these small businesses show themselves and show their work and show their art. That's why it's such a beautiful thing. That's why you're here today. That's why I wanted. By the way, I'm eating my banana. Everybody notice? I wasn't lying. And it tastes good. It's fresh. Go ahead. Sorry.
But actually, I think what you're saying is very important, because very few artists really have the opportunity to show their work to the world. And that's our mission, is to really be able to show as many artists as we can. We, of course, do our curating, and we see which artists were more into like fine arts rather than conceptual arts like the banana, no? But
Hey.
but we
Sold.
really
All of it works, right?
we really think, if you think about it, in the end, we're all artists. We all learn how to draw, but we also know how to do math. We're not Einstein, we're not Leonardo da Vinci, but we all have an artistic part. And it's that connection with the artists
Yeah.
that brings us into a different way of looking at art. We really think it's about, again, the community and trying to understand how you connect through your whole being to that, no? Not only mentally, but really with the heart.
Yeah, and what you're doing is a beautiful thing. I
It is.
consider myself doing something similar here with Strive305, promoting the small businesses. But what I'm doing also is I'm bringing a star to the world that nobody had really seen before, and now he's becoming famous. Irvans Agustin right here is a beautiful piece of art that I have brought to the world. The way
Tico's
you're
my
bringing,
favorite hype man.
the way you're bringing all these artists to the world, I'm bringing him out into the world, and then he's going to be famous, and he's going to be, maybe we'll stick him to the wall in your studio, and he could be art as
You're
well.
going to have to bring a whole lot more duct tape.
Well,
which I appreciate.
you both need to come because you're both
100%.
artists, and I
No,
want you to be
during
there
Art
on the
Basel, I will be
Artevivo.
there.
Yes.
We'll do some
No.
live activations.
Yes.
We'll do some
Yes.
things. But what you're doing for these people is unbelievable because, like to what you said,
Yeah.
they may never get any kind of exposure. You could be creating the next famous artist just because of what you're doing.
And I didn't realize you work with so many because I went on the website and you work with a lot of artists. And I'm just curious, like for you, like you've worked internationally in many different places, like from Mexico, Italy, and global trade and a bunch of different things. And like she has a really impressive resume.
Very much so.
And then so I'm curious how, from doing all of that, what made you want to start a local business here in Miami to bring this global to local?
Well, actually, my background is banking, commodities trading. I've done interest rate trading. I do
You're
like
kidding.
sustainable business
No,
globally.
yeah.
Wow.
Production of, whatever,
opposite of art.
soybeans. Precisely many years ago, when I finished high school, I went to Florence and studied art history.
Oh,
and
you
art
fell in
has
love.
been with me
Yeah, you fell in
all
love.
the time. So when the pandemic came, and with my business partner Rosana Latorre, we decided to create a different concept in art. And for me, it's been a fantastic intellectual experience because I've traded pretty much whatever you can think of,
Yeah.
but I hadn't had the pleasure of understanding the art business. And as commodities are basically interchangeable goods, art is the specialty, the most special thing, because you can even have two different works of art from the same artist, and the difference in price can be 20 times.
Right.
And then there might be some artists that you never see, like the famous case of Van Gogh. But also some of the artists just one of the collections connects and the other doesn't. So
Right.
how do you price
It's
a work
incredible,
of
right?
art? So I'm
Yes.
trying to write a piece on what's the actual price of art,
And
and
you
it's so subjective.
Yeah, and you work with the artists to do that, to kind of like how to help them price their art, how to not just promote and display it, but there's an entire business behind everything that you're talking about as well.
Exactly, and understanding like the pricing equation is always
Right.
a very difficult
How
one.
do you do that?
So we've done a bunch of things, but we have, let's say, some artists where we really manage their career, such is the case of Hermilo Espinosa, who's having the solo exhibition for the Art Basel
That'll be during
edition.
that week?
Yes.
What are the dates again? Say it really quick.
It's from December 1 to 11th, and
Okay.
it's called Symbols of Infinity.
Symbols of Infinity in Coral Gables.
In Coral Gables, in the Plaza Coral Gables, 111 Palermo.
111 Palermo.
And, well, we're going to have the artists present and all that. And then
Very exciting.
we are also bringing other artists and local artists, because for us, Artevivo is about also meeting the artists. So we will have some others. But what I wanted to say is when we represent the artist's career, we really go like a manager. And you have to really understand their life, what moves them, what not. Then we have another portfolio of emerging markets that actually have mentors, which are all of these artists that are more famous, and help us out to try to see
and
how we manage their...
the more experienced ones, or
Yes.
they come back, or they stay and they work with you from the other artists.
Yes,
Like that's amazing.
And that's part of like the
Yeah.
community we try to create, because there's a lot of experience that they
Yeah.
bring that might help the others to move faster.
Yeah.
And some of the other artists, some of them tell you, well, this is really a hobby for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for some others, I'm taking a bet on my life and
Yes.
my career that this is the only thing I want to do.
Yeah.
Like we have an artist,
And
a
some people are
local-
born that way. Like
Yeah.
speaking personally, like my daughter, my oldest daughter, Isabella Brew, at IsabellaBrew.com. There, I promoted you. She was born an artist from the day one. She literally sees more color than I do. Like she'll look at something. So the things like from day one, she's an artist, and like now she's graduated, she's finishing up her master's, and then as an artist now, and creating work. It's interesting. I'm just curious, like in this day and time, in this environment, like for you, you have blended. You've blended art, fashion, sustainability, and so many different elements. How do you advise these artists that you work with, starting out, or even the ones that are have been established? How do you help them? There's so much noise. How do you help them define and promote their niche in the sea of everything else that's going on?
For us, telling their story. It's so important for them to understand where do they
Their
come
own-
from.
their
Like
own
your
personal
daughter, like
story.
what is your personal story? Why do you connect with art? Why art and not something else?
Yeah.
Which are the colors that you're seeing? What are the emotions that art brings to you? Is this just connecting you with like the material world, or
Yeah.
is there something else that's inspiring you?
Yeah.
What inspires you? What makes you say, I'm going to do this piece? What makes you break a piece of art? Because we've
Yeah.
seen that too. And it's just fascinating because each of them gives you a lot of a story. Like
Oh,
this-
100%. Yeah.
we have one of the local artists, Mario, who's going to be coming on Saturday the 6th. We're doing the local artist day. So he's going to be there at night. But this guy has been painting for 50 years, and the brother has an auto shop. And he just sits next to him and paints and paints. And if you ask him, what do you do? All of his life, that's what he's been
That's what he
doing, just
did.
painting.
Yeah.
So we're actually going to, try to do some content because it's just fascinating to see someone that's so
And that's his
devoted
process.
to
He
do-
goes-
and that's his process. He sits there, and of course, as you can imagine, he has a bunch of different art pieces. So for him, going back to your question, we created like a collage that we're going to show with many little art pieces that really becomes a statement of all of the days that he's been doing this.
Of him and that's his story and his process,
That's his
and you help
story.
capture it and display
And show
it.
it to people to
Yeah.
see, who connects. Because again,
Wait, so
and-
are you the artist in that situation too? Because you're almost painting
Well-
a picture in that situation.
no, but I think really getting close to the story and understanding it at a deep level
Yeah.
is what allows you for me to sell or tell any story. If
Yeah.
I were not passionate about art and sustainability, I would not be doing this because I think it's boring and life is too short to do something that you don't like and enjoy. No.
You are a marketing and communications coordinator for the art world.
Kind of,
You know
yes.
that?
Kind of,
Yeah, you
yeah.
are 100%. And you're invested in it, and that's why your content is so good.
Oh, thank you.
Can I ask you 2 questions? Irvans, what's your daughter's name again?
Isabella Brew, B-R-U.
Isabella Brew. If I take one of her paintings, can we put it over there during the week?
Well, actually, that 6th, the day of the local artist, in the morning, we're doing painting with local young artists.
Yeah.
So it would be awesome if she can come and meet.
Actually, she doesn't do painting. She
People
does
are
mixed
like-
media and she builds reclaimed art. I'll connect her with you.
Oh, reclaimed.
She does.
Fantastic.
She does all
Reclaimed art?
kind.
Oh, don't connect it with her. Connect it with me. I'm her agent now. We're going to have her there, and I want to interview her there while she's there. We'll do a
We,
little
we
interview.
need
bring
to
her.
do that.
Let's
we
do
need
it.
to
I'll
do
bring
that.
her honestly.
And we'll mic her up and
But
we'll
I think
interview
it's her and so many of the other artists that are coming up in her age group. One, they think completely different than I do, and many of them have a very unique perspective of seeing the world. But there's just so much noise from my perspective, and like everything that you're talking about. And I as a parent, and also for her, just as her own individual person, how do you make this sustainable? How do you create a living? And how do you actually, for her, it's the way, one of the ways she communicates and she shares what she's thinking, right? And then so I think that's an amazing opportunity and a gift for her, but you don't want to lose that you need to be able to eat. You need to be able to pay your rent and other things like that. And so I think that's what's beautiful about what you're doing as part of just not just telling their story, but then also really helping them build the business aspect of this industry that they're in.
What they're doing, yeah. That's basically an old parent worrying about his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, that's where I think it's so important to look into foundations and philanthropy and the actual,
But there's a lot of people,
that have been
a lot of those
supporting
things.
art
Yeah.
and
A lot of
including
it
what
has
you
been
said,
cut,
like
though.
the major and public art and all of this. This is very important that it is considered as part of the whole human being. There's this, I don't know if you remember this STEM, science, technology, and math. They put the art to call it STEAM instead of engineering and math. It was engineering, art, and math. Because art, if you think about sacred geometry and all that, in the end, it's all about numbers. And so I think we're at a stage where, with all of this science coming together, art is going to definitely be a part of our everyday life more. No, I don't want to tell you all about it, but there's also like art as therapy, and there's like one of our very big artists and great friend did a lot of like human trafficking, refugee therapy for trauma through art, because art allows you to really connect in an easier way that sometimes words do. No? So
you mentioned that you mentioned something your daughter was doing, and then you said, "Oh yes, the kind of art." What was that word that you guys used?
Reclaimed art.
Reclaimed art. What is that? Because I saw that your eyes opened when she said that. Can you explain that? Because I don't know what that is.
Well, because we live in a very wasteful planet. No, so part of sustainability is to really use some other pieces and reclaim the art instead of maybe you have a boat, and actually we have, and you'll see it there, one of our artists is going to be painting a windsurf piece from a guy that came many years ago from Cuba in a windsurf.
Wow.
And instead of throwing that away, he's painting it to make it a table or a piece of art. So understanding that you don't need to be wasteful is something very important, because it also portrays the resilience and the new way of thinking about life, no? And like your banana there, maybe we can use it for compost.
Yeah, we can reclaim it after.
Or she'll find like an old cabinet, and then she'll like the last piece she did. She found an old kitchen cabinet, and then she took it and then she covered the entire thing individually with grains of rice, but the entire cabinet inside and out. But then if you look very closely into it, she told a story inside all of the rice that she put on it. So from a distance you see it one way, but then we get closer, you kind of realize what it is. So there's a whole lot of different layers, but she just took it from some old cabinet that somebody threw out on the side of the road, and she's like, oh. And she stopped and she went and she got it, and then later on it was just kind of a part of her project. But also a lot of the other kids in her class, and a lot of them work and create in that way. So I just thought it was really interesting.
That is
I would
really
have
cool.
never thought of that.
You got to bring them out. I know she's going to get mad at you probably because she doesn't want you doing that, but blame it on me. Tell her it was Tico that did this. You have to come out. Yeah, because that would be awesome to do that.
It is
But
really
I would
interesting to
love
have
it.
art with a purpose. No, I'd be more than happy
love
to
it because in the end, that's the other thing. No? As we have Mario that's been painting for 50 years.
Correct.
We're doing the children thing because we think that art really pertains to all of us. And it's also, something that uplifts you and inspires you.
Right.
And instead of being wasteful, why not having something cool? No, it's like
And
the
Mario
vintage
can be his
clothing.
mentors, I'm sure, those
Yes.
other artists, because that's
Yes.
what, if you're a true artist, that's what you want. You want the world to experience, and you'll mentor them and bring them out.
How did you, as a business owner, just kind of realize like you wanted to focus on a business with a purpose? And because coming from the banking and everything,
Yes.
Well, precisely because through my career, I looked into impact investing, and I looked into a lot of like small farmer projects and things of the sort. And to me, there is not a good environmental intervention if you don't take the community. And I really believe in the model that there's what they call the triple bottom line, where you have a social and environmental and a monetary benefit. So Artevivo is the laboratory for doing that with art and really making us, happy about what we do. Again, of course, understanding that we need to eat, and I didn't do this as a non-for-profit precisely to test
which I thought
that
was
this
very
is
cool.
something,
Because most of the time, like majority of artists treat their business as a non-profit, but then, which is not bad because then you have grants and foundations and other things, but then a lot of them don't run they don't run it as a business.
Right.
And then in the end, you almost become a charity, and then you kind of, you're beholden to whatever people are able to give you. And then, like in this last 2 years, when all the funding is cut, then you're kind of SOL.
Yeah.
Right. And then what do you do? But
Become a
and you don't
starving
think,
artist.
Exactly. And there's a reason they call it that, right? But I definitely appreciate that you look and treated it as a business and you communicate about it in that way as well.
And trying to see other pieces, no? Like if you can wear the art in fashion, or if we can do some experiences within the art exhibition and things of the sort, that helps you pay for the costs and monetize and make this resilient.
Right.
Because the most important thing is to be able to keep the business moving.
Yeah.
Otherwise, either you have to change the way you're doing business, or you just say, well, thank you very much, next. No,
What's your favorite medium as an artist?
Well, I would say I'm not an artist.
I would say you are.
I like writing. I'm not a very good drawer. My handwriting.
Neither was
is not very
Jackson
nice,
Pollock. You know who Jackson Pollock is?
Yeah, the artist.
Well,
and then so
that
like
crazy
you could argue, right? Like someone just threw a bunch of paint on the floor.
Is that art what you're wearing? Is that from an artist?
Well, actually, this is something that inspired us to do our own jackets, and it's actually ours. Have a lot of pieces that are repurposed.
Mm-hmm.
So with the idea of that, and then some of the others just have prints from our own artist paintings. So that you can wear something. Yeah. You'll see them when you come. You'll see there's.
I'm gonna steal a couple use for the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Large
please.
T-shirt because I do my funny T-shirt, but I would love to have
And
artist
then if you go
T-shirts.
to the
That's
gym
true.
also.
We do t-shirts, so
We have
if you
some,
want us to wear them on the show sometime, we'll
Perfect.
we'll wear them.
I'll wear and promote.
Yeah, we wear shirts.
But I get to keep them. I'm not returning them.
No, absolutely. Okay.
I'm kidding, I'll return
no, absolutely. No, my pleasure. For me, it's about really making this a platform that a lot of people can hear about and just join us on this journey of trying to make art something more approachable and sustainable and something that makes us happy and have a good day.
Definitely need a whole lot more happy things.
Yeah.
So much noise and a mess out there in the world. So I'm definitely love to have more happy
100% in the
stuff.
small business world. Again, that's why we're here, right? To help with the small businesses. People won't. You don't think of artists as a small business, like we mentioned before. We had a comedian on here too. That's a small business. He's his own small business, and having people like that, I love it because
that's his art form.
That's his art. That's his business. That's how he makes his money. How he promote, how he wants to live and survive. But they need to be shown. People need to know they exist.
Yeah. Right.
So that they can make money. Now I didn't realize this, but now my new passion is going to be pushing art because I got to make sure Irvans has somebody to maintain him when he gets older.
Exactly.
He can't live off of his looks his whole life, so we need his daughter to make some big bucks.
I'm going to
cover.
become an artist.
Well, you already are. You're a podcast artist.
How do people
find
your website? How do they find you?
Tell us all again.
www.artevivo.com.
Artevivo.
ARTEVIVO.
Global.com.
Yes.
Okay,
Awesome.
Yeah, you got to go check out the website. It has all the different artists. So
there's a ton of them.
says that there's a ton of them. I'm like, oh my God, I keep scrolling and scrolling, which is beautiful. And we're going to add your daughter on there. I love it.
And during our Basel, you're only doing here in the Gables?
Yes, in the Plaza Coral Gables because it's a big art exhibition. But what we're doing is we're doing some events in the morning, like coffee with art, and we're doing some things in the afternoons. So
and
that
you're
people
starting
can
on the
come and
first.
see on the first.
And our Basel starts on the...
Our Basel starts that Thursday.
Right, you guys are starting before.
We're starting before and we're ending after.
And after, right? So
to have a little bit of more time, because it's a big lift to put the whole exhibition, and we're very thankful also to the Plaza that we have this space with a door to be able to put it's a challenge in itself to put an art exhibit in a place that's not totally finished, so it's also going to look very sustainable. And we're going to do that zero footprint,
Very cool.
which is also going to look cool.
I like it. I'm going to use it.
We'll
I'm
have
gonna
to go now.
No, yeah, I'm going to
Yes,
use her to
yes.
give me a little bit of class. I'm going to have dinner. I'm going to go to the art. I'm going to walk around the art and then walk around after, maybe get a drink and pretend I'm a classy guy.
As long as you're wearing pants.
Absolutely.
Well, it depends. It's art. I can wear whatever I want.
Exactly.
Right? All right, well, excellent. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Very excited. I told you this was going to be really
No,
cool.
it's interesting.
And look
She
what we
was
did.
big.
We've created a path for his daughter. Maybe, let's see. I get the feeling she's going to smack him and say,
all these
Dad, leave me
artists
alone.
make their own paths.
This
and
is
they
right,
I'm
figure it
looking
all out.
forward to see you too,
No,
your daughter, and because we also want, children, and
Yeah.
we're inviting also the elderly from some of the houses to just
Yeah.
come and have some tea and enjoy the art. It's really for me. It's just about how many people can see this and enjoy this.
Let's connect. We have the Elderly Affairs Committee in Miami Lakes, and they do trips. They go to the
fantastic.
Marlins
That's what we're-
games. Well, I'll
Fantastic.
connect you to our
They
Elderly
can come
Affairs
in the back,
Committee.
please.
Yeah.
And,
Please.
and they
That's
can you can
fantastic,
have
yes.
them and receive them over there. And then when you make the announcement, give me credit so that they can say, "Oh my God, Tico, it's him again."
Well,
You
we
can
know,
work
Tico,
over.
you're going to get a lot of credits, eh?
No, I'll go and speak that day.
And your daughter is also going to
She's-
know that
she's
the
an
mentor Tico.
Agent,
eh?
agent,
go.
agent,
Agent.
agent. I'm her agent. I want a
I'll
piece
have
of
her
his
share
pie.
it. She's part of the master's program at FIU, so they have a ton of students that do all kinds of amazing stuff. So I'll definitely connect you with her.
Oh, absolutely.
And then if there's other things that they're looking for internships or people to help and work and other things like that. So I'll be more than happy to share the information. So.
Oh, that is amazing. No, definitely. We need hands and people that enjoy also, putting together an art
Yeah.
show is not that easy.
I know what they're doing. You don't want our hands because we'll just throw stuff
Yeah.
everywhere.
Even though I'm going to draw something and take it that day, maybe I'll go famous. Carla, your partner, you mentioned your partner earlier. Who's your
Yes,
partner's name again?
Rosana La Torre, she lives in Mexico.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And that's how we also, manage
You
to
still
find
work
artists in
in
Latin
Latin
America.
America.
And bring them over.
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
cool.
excellent. Thank you, Carla. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Irvans, for putting up with me. Thank you, Anthony, for everything you do.
Anthony.
And thank you to all our viewers. We'll see you on the next one. Hit it, Anthony.